Hey guys, this is Ben, and I want to talk to you about translation and internationalization in YDS. Now, internationalization is something that we've had in ServiceNow for quite some time, and that we also have to a certain degree in Service Portal natively. However, in some of our deployments, we saw the need for some richer translation capability, so we built some of that into YDS. Let me show you how it works. So I can come to the doc site and just search for translation, and quickly get there. Now to show you the basic functionality, let's just copy and paste a little bit of the code we have here. Let's just grab this YDS Translate tag. We'll just drop it into an empty widget. And let's just pick a term. Again, this could be obviously variables that are bound. In this case, we'll just pick a hard-coded term. We'll do thank you. And let's translate that to French. And so now what we would expect is that YDS Translate will translate thank you into French, and we'll see that on a Service Portal page. And as expected, there we go, merci. So it's working great. And right now, the translations by default are coming from the messages table in ServiceNow. This is where ServiceNow stores all of its translations. So anything that's supported by this can also be supported by YDS Translate. By default, if you leave a to-language out, this will default to the language of the logged in user. So you can wrap anything in YDS Translate with no to-language parameter, and it will translate into the language of whoever the logged in user is that's viewing that. And this is all well and good. You can also do some of this in Service Portal natively. We do add a few additional troubleshooting and debugging capabilities that you might find useful. I'll talk about those in a moment. But where this really gets cool is that our translation engine can also integrate directly with Google Translate. And so let me set that up and show you what it looks like. Okay, so what I've done here is I've basically just created a little text area that is attached to a myText variable, and then another adjacent text area with a few other attributes, and our YDS Translate component there. So got that. I'm telling it it's from language English to language French. I'm going to make my watch variable here myText. This is what I'm going to grab. It's the variable from this previous text box. I'm going to translate that and then put it into this text area. But this time I'm using Translator of Google, and I've got a Google API key here just out of frame. So we're going to be using the Google Translate engine to do translations. So let's save this and see what this looks like. All right, here are our two text boxes. And now we're translating to French, so when I start typing things, I can be like, hello, my name is Ben. It's translating in real time over here from Google Translate and displaying in our UI. Could be anything. So what this enables us to do is to be extremely dynamic about what our data is, where it's coming from, and how it's translating. It also frees us from the process of having to do all of our translations inside of the messages table in ServiceNow. Now we can enable internationalization across an entire service portal through Google Translate through any languages that Google supports, which is tremendously powerful. The effort to translate and get all those translations into the messages table is tremendous, and this gives you a lot of agility to add new languages. As long as Google Translate supports it, you're good to go. Also enables us to take data that we may not know. The messages table requires that you know what the user is going to see and that you have translations available. With Google Translate, it could be input from anywhere. So it could be user-defined input, it could be dynamic input from web services calling other sources. We could even build, as you can see here, a real-time translation chat engine. If you have a help desk in one location that needs to communicate globally and maybe don't have the support of people staffing that speak those multiple languages, you can enable the communication across languages just through this engine. And back on the side, I can show you just a couple more options we have that are handy. We have this option for show missing translation and show translation source. And whenever you add these attributes to your YDS tags, then you can see a few extra things. Let me go set that up real fast just to show you what it looks like. Okay, so now I've added those debug capabilities to the Google source, and then I've also added the same things to just another simple YDS Translate to French for ZebraSuit. I don't expect we're going to have a translation for ZebraSuit, so we can see what this looks like. So now when I refresh, we'll see that in this case it's saying ZebraSuit is telling me this is not an available translation. If I change it back to something like thank you, as we had before, then it should look much different. Now we'll just see our translation, and then the source that it came from. This came from the ServiceNow messages table. Now, if I go up here and start typing, I can see, hello there. Here it's telling us, here's the translation, and this came from Google. And so basically you can enable these when you're trying to troubleshoot or want to make sure that you have all your translations in place. This is obviously a powerful feature for pre-go live, whenever you want to make sure that everyone's receiving a good user experience and that all your international users are seeing fully translated pages. You can turn these on, debug, make sure everything's shored up before you release. So we think this is very powerful, especially whenever you integrate with Google. Allows a lot of new capabilities around dynamic translation, real-time translation. And we've done some pretty cool stuff with it, but I'm even more excited to see what our partners and subscribers out there can do with this. So thanks a lot. If you have any questions, feel free to come and pose those at the Yansa Design System page. Just click on Contact Us up in the right-hand corner. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.